Hi there, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Today's video is gonna be interesting because it's not aimed for home users. Kind of, you're entering the market of coffee shops. Nonetheless, they can be utilized in home-based scenarios. We're gonna dive into that shortly. But to start with, or to briefly speak about, we have two grinders from Eureka. They're not super new, but like they came a few months ago, especially with the AtomW, the Libra last year. So they're becoming more available depending where you live at. The Eureka Libra, this one we have, it's 55mm flat burrs. There's a 65mm flat burr grinder. I don't know if they came up with it yet. And the AtomW, there's also 65mm. We have here the 75mm burrs. Let's start with the Eureka Libra. So the chrome finish from Eureka is right on point. It's super beautiful, but it's a fingerprint magnet, so you have to always shine it. It has around 300 watt motor. It rotates at a 1300 RPM, which is kind of fast, but for those small burrs, you need high RPM, otherwise it's gonna take a long time. Starting from the bottom, you have a sticker here, it says tested. So basically each grinder they test it, they calibrate the weight, and we come to the fork that holds the portafilter. So this fork is adjustable. As you can see, we loosen this knob, and right now it's tight, depending on the size of your portafilter. But let's say like if you want to use a portafilter, by the way, with the dosing funnel that comes as stock with the grinder with built-in magnets. So we've attached the portafilter, we've loosened the knob, insert the portafilter, lift it from the bottom to have snug fit, then tighten the knob, and the portafilter stays there. The top layer of the bottom fork is kind of a spongy layer. We did wish for this to be slightly, let's say, more durable, thicker rubber base instead of spongy. I'm not sure if they updated it with the newer models. Coming to the side here, you have the on-off switch. This is like the major switch, and the grinder is right now on. You come here to the screen itself, which is touch screen. So basically this is like kind of, you make single dose espresso. You can adjust the dose based on your preference. You adjust it by 0.1 gram, and double espresso like 17.1. Now the beautiful thing about the Eureka Libra, the difference range between 0.1 to 0.2, like it's always on point, but in general it might gives you extra 0.1 gram or 0.2 grams. Rarely it changes 0.3 grams, but it's always on point. As you can see here, we went ahead, we did like 10 times grinding cycles, the same coffee beans, same grind setting, everything the same, and the difference was 0.1 to 0.2. It's super accurate. Coming to the grinding dial, it's a small grinding dial. It's not the most accurate, I would say, but this is not single dose grinder. You're not gonna spend your entire day going coarser or finer. You're just gonna find your sweet spot of coffee and keep grinding at it. It gives you a difference in extraction between 4 to 6 seconds. We did wish if it was like slightly more accurate, maybe if you want only 2 seconds difference in extraction. Nonetheless, in that case, you can adjust your grind dose. Coming to the burrs themselves, the Eureka Libra uses 55mm flat burrs. Now these burrs with this geometry is designed more towards the medium dark roast coffee beans, and it serves really well. Most espresso shots were chocolatey, nutty, strong body. You won't be expecting clarity in that case. However, in the larger version, the 65mm burr grinder, I know Eureka are working on a different burrs geometry, so that would be a very interesting option. But for the 55, like it shines at the medium dark roasted. If you want to light roast, you'll get a bit of astringency, ashy, like muddiness in the cup. It's not super strong, but for light roast, you want that clarity and juiciness, enjoyable acidity. Coming to the hopper itself, it holds around 300 grams, and I know Eureka are also making on some accessories like chrome finish hopper lid. That one would be cool. They are also making glass hopper, but this plastic one, it's nice, durable, fits 300 grams. You don't want more than that for this shape. It's good. From the side, it has like a lock. Once you close it, it prevents coffee beans from going down. You open it and coffee beans go down in order to start grinding. So inside the portafilter, you choose the two cups close. And here you go. You see, that's the cool thing. Like once it finishes grinding, it measures like, am I short 0.1 grams, 0.2 grams? So it's worked like for half second, 1 second to get the dose ready for you. You do some WDT tool, tamp it, and you're good to go. And that's just about it. So let's move to the AtomW. This is kind of the larger sister. It's double the size, double the weight, weighs around 12 kilograms. This one's 6.5 kilograms. It also rotates at 1400 RPM. It has around 400 watt motor. Let's start from the bottom, go to the up as always. You have the on-off switch here. The adjustment mechanism of the fork is also kind of let's say there is no way of an error, you need to use Phillips screwdrivers here to adjust the height of it. So let's turn the grinder off to prevent it from starting. We've turned it off, and you have 2 Phillips screws here, and you will be able to adjust the lower fork depending on your portafilter thickness, and the upper fork and those 2 screws, you are able to adjust the entire height. Now this is very important because depending on the basket that you are using, the portafilter and the height, the flow of the ground coffee might not enter in the center of your basket. For instance, if it's too high, the ground coffee might build up at the top of the basket on this side, and you'll end up with ground coffee going to the corners. And in this case, you lower it to the bottom, the ground coffee will build up in the middle of your basket to prevent any ground coffee from falling from the sides. We found with our portafilter, the upper fork, it's better to bring it down. Let's tighten these 2 screws. The lower fork, you insert the portafilter, you lift the lower fork, then we go to those 2 small screws and we tighten them. And our portafilter is good to go. See how smooth it is? Goes, stays in place. Let's turn it back on again. Once you turn it on, you can see there's a small light here. It's a nice light. As soon as you insert your portafilter, start grinding, the light will turn on. Now the screen on the AtomW is more futuristic than the Atom Libra. So when you come to the screen, you have 1, 2, or 3. So you have 3 options as opposed to 2 options in the Libra. One like being, let's say, single dose or extra 3 grams. And number 2 will be double espresso. Number 3, let's say triple espressos if you want. Going to the menus, it show you how much coffee have went through these Burs. Like in our case, at 2 shots espresso, 2.5 kilograms, at 1 shot espresso, 200 grams, and continuous grinding, 140 grams. You can also reset it if you want. This is good information kind of to measure how much coffee you use in a coffee shop. Let's say on a daily basis how much you consumed coffee with this grinder, and it's also good for maintenance. For instance, in coffee shops they use a lot of coffee, and after 1, 2, or few years, it's good to change the Burs for sharper, newer Burs. You have the brightness, you can adjust it. So there's grind by weight and grind by time, and we were personally curious about this because, for instance, in a heavy coffee shop, if you're grinding by time and in rush hour you grind 2 or 3 kilograms of coffee beans, the Burs will heat up and the output on the performance of these cutting surfaces will change, and the grind by weight, it will always be more accurate than grind by time. But if you wish, you can have the grind by time option. And calibration. So basically it counts 3, 2, 1, then you put your portafilter, it tears it down and tells you put a weight specifically. And in that case, it gives you the weight by 0.01 gram. And in order to calibrate it very well, we use the Varia AKU Mini new scale, which gives you even more precise weight, 0.01 gram, and you find it more helpful, more accurate to dose at that time. So you set the dose, you fill the portafilter with coffee beans, specifically how much you told the grinder they should be. It measures it and recalibrates itself. Coming up to the grinding dial. The grinding dial has like small arrow, as opposed to the Libra, it was from the front. Here in the Atom, it's kind of from the side. It's more precise than the Libra. So a difference in extraction time was between 2 to 3 seconds, sometime between 1 to 2 seconds. It's more precise, more accurate. Coming to the hopper, it holds around 1.2 kilograms or 1.5 kilogram. It's a large hopper, very efficient, easy to open and close. And inside the grinder, it hosts 75 millimeter flat Burs. Taste wise, with the AtomW, it felt again chocolatey, nutty, more aimed towards medium to dark roast, but you can still do light roast. It's not super enjoyable light roast, but at least it's better than the Libra. And when compared side by side, espresso shots were brighter, juicier, slightly cleaner, and the acidity, let's say, is present. Whereas in the Libra, when you have them side by side, you feel like it's kind of the chocolatey, dark chocolate tasting notes, the nuttiness, it covers everything else. Here, you can still feel some acidity, brighter, but again, the same similar taste profile. Similar to the Libra again, Eureka are working on a different Burs geometry. Actually, we're waiting to get them in order to include them in this review, but Eureka probably needs another few months to have them out there. Now, let me show you how does it sound while grinding coffee beans and speak about the accuracy of grind by weight. And as you can see, insert the portafilter, the light will start on and the grinder automatically starts on. And that was it. Now a quick note, this is extremely dark roast that we are using, and we found like there is some static electricity. However, after like 100 gram 200 grams of coffee going through it. It will be less, but you'll still have some static electricity. Maybe kind of plasma generator will be extremely welcome in this case with both of these grinders. Nonetheless, like for a coffee shop, if you have small plate here at the bottom, after 1 hour, 2 hours, you just clean it or vacuum it up. Ground coffee, as you can see here, it's fluffy right in the middle. Now, as this a larger grinder, larger burrs, faster grinding time, we found that similar to the Libra, we went like 10, 20 espresso shots, one after each other, and we found the average weight difference ranged between 0.2 to 0.3, on occasionally 0.4 to 0.5 grams, but really on rare occasions. Generally speaking, the difference between 0.2 to 0.3 grams. And we did test this in the espresso extraction, and the difference was almost half a second to none. So 0.2, 0.3, it won't change your espresso extraction, or might change it with 1 second. We did wish for 0.1, but I think that means the scale needs to be more sensitive. Maybe this will be more expensive, because this AtomW range around $1,500 US, the Libra around $700 US, depending on the color finish you are getting. They are pretty affordable, especially for coffee shops. Personally, I think each coffee shop should have something that, like the Libra at least, for a decaf, because we visit so many coffee shops and we always try to recognize the mistakes that they are doing, and most of them, they don't have a decaf. And then at the end of the day, you might really want to drink some coffee in the evening, but you don't want to mess up your night's sleep. And having grinder like this, or even grinder like the Atom with just for decaf, is a wonderful idea. If you are on a budget, having the Libra right there in the corner for the special customers with the decaf, it's a wonderful option. For home use, we've tried to use both of them. Nadia, my partner, she tried both of them because for her, she wants to drink her morning coffee the same. She does not like to test always on the safe zone. She likes the chocolatey tasting notes. So she wants the same coffee consistency. I gave her this, then I gave her that. Now she's gonna join us and tell us her thoughts.
Hi guys, it's been a while.
So start with Nadia gonna tell us with her experience with the Eureka Libra.
Okay, so first of all, I really liked how compact it is, how easy to use, and I really liked the dosing funnel that comes with the grinder. And I don't really mind the time to grind. I do other stuff in the meantime.
For instance, like, sorry for cutting you. For instance, like, she just put a portafilter, go prepare her cup of coffee, pour. She likes Americanos in the morning.
Yeah.
So she pours some hot water, then comes back, the ground coffee will be ready. It does not take that much time to grind, but still, like, you don't have to wait for it. You go, the portafilter will be holding itself placed there.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, like, it won't fall, it's staying there. She go do her thing, the coffee will be waiting for her. Yeah. What about taste-wise?
Taste-wise, it's nice. It's like, it has this chocolatey notes that I really like.
Yeah, she's
dark
a medium dark roast fan.
Yeah.
What can we do? Yeah, she drinks all type roasts just like me, but she still aims and prefer for medium dark.
Especially with my morning coffee, like, it need to be
really roasted. Yeah, let's put it that way. So coming with the Atom, the major difference between the AtomW and the Libra, what did you feel like it's better, regardless of taste wise?
So the major difference for me was how fluffy the ground coffee is.
Yeah, there's the declumper in the AtomW. It's really good and right on point. So what about taste-wise? Did you notice any difference?
Maybe because I'm using darker roast. Couldn't
it's tough to
tell.
predict. Yeah, between medium
maybe
dark.
you can tell more than me, but I think with this one it's a bit more consistent.
Yeah, you mean like extraction more smooth?
Yes.
Better, yeah.
It's faster, easier to use. Like with the Libra, you have to push the button so the grinder will start. Here, you just need to insert the portafilter and it will start automatically.
If you had to pick one, which one would you pick?
It's a tough question.
Yeah.
I'm going to use it home use, so I would prefer this one, the Libra.
Yeah.
Because of the size.
That's the main point. Like for home use, if you just want like spare grinder, let's say even if you're not like, you have a single dose grinder, but still you want something budget friendly, grind by weight, those fast early morning days, put portafilter, get it ready, put an espresso machine, you're good to go. But our advice, if you like medium light roast, go to the 65 millimeter Libra, especially the Eureka are coming with newer Burs. Those will be really interesting instead of this one. But as you mentioned, you're happy with it.
Yeah, it's a great option, both of them.
And that's it. Thank you for watching and enjoying our videos. And thanks to Nadia for joining us.
I'll try and make it more frequent.
Yeah, everyone loves her thoughts in the videos. So take care.
See you soon.
In the next video.
Bye.
Bye. Stop, for God's sake.